On this episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we're going to talk about cannabis and why on earth this miracle plant of hundreds of uses is still illegal at the federal level here in the United States. How come it's still illegal federally? Its medical benefits are proven, and the states where it's been legalized have shown how beneficial cannabis can be to the economy. So why isn't it legal yet? Why is it illegal at all? And how is it considered as dangerous as heroin? Well, to fully answer that question, you have to go back to how and why it became an illegal drug in the first place. In the early 1900s, just after the Mexican Revolution, we saw a massive influx of Mexican immigrants in the United States. Also, a large portion of the United States used to be Mexico, and all of these new Americans brought with them their language, traditions, and customs. And one of those customs was the use of cannabis as a medicine and a way to relax. Now, cannabis was already widely used here in the States. Most of the medicines in your average medicine cabinet contained it back then. But the Mexican immigrants referred to cannabis as marijuana, which was a foreign term to us. That fact was later used to propagandize the public against cannabis by always referring to it as marijuana. The most famous example of this propaganda was the film Reefer Madness.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case.
If you want a good smoke, try one of these.
You will meet Bill, who once took pride in his strong will as he takes the first step toward enslavement.
Of course, if you're afraid.
Smoking the soul-destroying reefer, they find a moment's pleasure, but at a terrible price. Debauchery, violence, murder, suicide, and the ultimate end of the marijuana addict. Hopeless insanity. See this important film now, before it is too late.
Our media propaganda machine made extraordinary claims in the process of demonizing marijuana, saying things like it made men of color violent and caused them to want to sleep with white women, which was used in the push towards passing the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, which banned the use and sale of marijuana. The act was later ruled unconstitutional, but it was replaced with the Controlled Substances Act in the 1970s, which established schedules for ranking substances according to their dangerousness and potential for addiction. Cannabis was placed in the most restrictive category, Schedule 1, supposedly as a placeholder while then President Nixon commissioned a report to give a final recommendation. The Schaefer Commission, as the commission was called, declared that marijuana should not be in Schedule 1 and even doubted its designation as an illicit substance. However, President Nixon discounted the recommendation of the commission, and marijuana remains a Schedule 1 substance to this day. So racism and cultural ignorance played a very big part in cannabis becoming illegal. But another huge factor was greed. William Randolph Hearst, who had massive interest in the timber industry and also just happened to have a monopoly of the press, led the fight against cannabis because of its close cousin hemp's many uses. You see, hemp is a very versatile and useful plant, but at first it was very hard to process and work with. That is, until an invention came along that made hemp much easier to work with. And this threatened Hearst's interest in timber because with this new invention, hemp was set to replace timber in manufacturing. So, money and greed played a massive role as well. What I've noticed played no part at all is the dangerousness of the plant itself. Even in the propaganda campaign, they couldn't focus on actual dangers of cannabis use, just imagined ones based in ignorance and racism. Now, why would that be? Would it be because there really aren't any? No one, not one person ever, has ever overdosed on cannabis. It's never happened. But do you know what has happened with the use of cannabis that you don't hear enough about? Real life, all natural miracles. Children who've lived with thousands of seizures a day can now live normal lives just from the use of CBD oil, which is extracted from cannabis but does not contain the THC that gets you high. But it can reduce the amount of seizures these children have down to 2 or 3 a day, if not cure them entirely. It can also stop seizures as they're happening.
My goal for him is to hear his voice, to hear him talk. We just want him to be happy.
This is more than just make it so that he doesn't have seizures anymore. I want him back. I want him to thrive and live and enjoy us. And if a plant can do that, why do we object?
Some of the kids clearly became more verbal, better coordination. I had one child who started walking while they were using the medications.
We instantly saw results. He was smiling again. We noticed the decrease in seizures. He was able to transition. And at this point, he was finally able to gain cognitive skills.
People with Parkinson's disease can calm their bodies down and be able to function normally through the use of cannabis alone.
Hi, Larry. How are you?
Come in, come in.
Good to see you. How you feeling?
It's been a bit of a rough week.
Really? And the best way to take it is put it under your tongue and rub it in your cheek. Don't do too much. You're going to be asleep all afternoon. You know what you should do?
No.
Don't try to communicate. Just relax. See what happens.
We know from animal experiments that the endogenous cannabinoid system is very important in regulating motor activity, that very type of activity that is impaired in Parkinson's disease. From animal experiments, we also know that boosting certain branches of the endocannabinoid system is helpful in relieving symptoms of Parkinson's. Finally, from anecdotal information, we know that certain patients who smoke marijuana experience relief of their symptoms.
I think you're calmed down.
So quickly.
Isn't that amazing?
He used just a single drop, and his hands afterwards were rock steady, and the dyskinesia left.
The voice is coming back.
It works most of the time.
In fact, it's... Did you guys eat lunch?
Are you hungry now?
1 a.m. Actually,
A person like me could really use marijuana. It makes me pretty angry that I can't get it in my home state.
The number one frustration that I have is knowing that there is this untapped potential that comes from what marijuana is teaching us to generate new medicines, and being stuck because of financial issues or political issues. That is extremely frustrating.
We now know that medical marijuana controls dyskinesia, and yet it's not available to us.
It cures depression better than any drug ever made. It helps with anxiety, helps people suffering through chemotherapy be able to eat, people with PTSD. It helps ease pain, and in places where marijuana has been legalized, prescription opiate use has been shown to drop dramatically because people are choosing marijuana over their prescription opiate pain medication, which is probably why Big Pharma is the biggest opposer to legalize marijuana today. Now, I could go on and on about the benefits of marijuana. Cannabis is a miracle, in my honest opinion, and the fact that it is illegal is a crime against humanity. Our forefathers were cannabis enthusiasts as well, and I'm sure that they would have protected its use in the Constitution had they thought we'd ever be stupid enough to actually ban its use. But as I said in the beginning, progress is being made. Marijuana use is now legal in some form in 29 states and currently on the ballot in November for many more. It's just a matter of time. Just a real shame that our current and prior presidents have been too cowardly to be the one who, in my opinion, bravely steps forward to end the hypocrisy of this federal ban on marijuana. It's coming soon for sure, but those of us in less progressive states will just have to wait a little bit longer, I'm afraid. Thanks for watching another Conspiracy Theories and Chill. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. And also remember to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get alerts whenever we post new videos. I'll see you guys next time right here.